Hey everybody, I've had a bunch of requests to explain some of our graphing stuff a little bit better, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a try here. So I want to first draw your attention to this. It's a two-step assignment. The first step, you're going to be determining the average speed, distance, and time of something. The second step is going to be the graphing, the points on PhET.Colorado. Now, what you need to do is ignore the second step until you're done with the first step. For some crazy reason, several of you are like, I don't know how to do this, and you don't have anything written down in these parts. So that's going to be your first thing you got to fix there, okay? Now I'm going to walk you through how to do problem number 1 because I designed this to be a kind of a throwaway problem or a bonus problem for all of you. What's the average speed of a horse traveling 72 miles in 18 hours? So the first thing I got to do here is find out what's the distance. D equals what? T equals what? Well, the D is going to equal 72 miles. The T is going to equal 18 hours. At this point, I've had some pretty crazy questions like, what does that V stand for? That V stands for average speed. So remember, we talked about this in class, and we took notes on this, about how average speed is the same thing for V as velocity is. The only difference is we're not adding the direction at the end, okay? Now, I am not going to mark you down if you forgot that. That's okay. I just told you, now you can remember it. So now we have to remember what that formula looks like. The formula looks like V equals D over T, or V equals 72 miles over 18 hours. Cool. So now I just have to see, what do I have to do? Oh yeah, I got to divide. That's right. So let's go ahead and divide this bad boy out. Going to throw 72 in the doghouse. Why? Because that's distance. Distance always goes in the doghouse. We're going to put time on the outside. Throw that 18 there. Okay. So now all I have to do is find out how many times 18 can go into 72. Guess what? I already know. But I'm going to still show you what I do to figure it out. I got to figure out how many times I can fit this into this. Well, let's see. I know for sure that 18 and 18 is 36. Okay. And 36 and 18, we'll do those little plus signs so you can follow me along there. Well, that's going to be a 4. That's going to add a 1 there. That's going to make that 54. Okay. I see where we're going with this, Sawchuck. Pretty good ideas here. Now I'm going to add another 18. I've got a 2 there for that 12. Going to throw that up there. And now I've got 5 plus 1 plus 1 is going to be 72. Well, holy cow. That's pretty great. So now I need to see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 18s here. Why am I not doing this? That's because this right here is the sum of these two numbers. This right here is the sum of these two numbers. This right here is the sum of these two numbers. So I've got 4 18s. So I'm going to put 4. Okay, now we got to finish the long division problem here. We got a 0. I got another 0. Cool. So now I know it's going to be 4. 4 what? Circle it. Draw the arrow over here. 4 miles per hour, or mi over 1 hr, or I'll write it in black so it's easier to see, mph. Okay, so 4 mph would be miles per hour. Now, let's go over here to the graphing portion. I've done part 1 for this problem. Now I'm going to go over here to part 2. Part 2, go to this website. Click these things. Click the purple arrows down, so both purple numbers are set to 0. Then plug in the numbers like we learned about last week. V equals D over T. Remember, at the top of the fraction is the distance, the bottom of the fraction is the time. So if you're someone who doesn't know what to do, you just have to read the instructions and it tells you what to do. It's pretty great like that. Screenshot what you did and submit it, each of the 6 answers with work. If you prefer to draw the graphs below, you may absolutely do that. Let's go ahead and erase below, and let's make that say on the back. Make sure they're clear and easy to read. Pay attention to those units of measurement. So now, I want to show you just how easy it is to do this graphing piece. A lot of kids are like, I don't know what to do, it's so hard. It's not actually that bad. Okay, not that bad. We're going to be just fine here. We just have to do a little bit of work, okay? And it's okay to do work sometimes. As a matter of fact, this is one of those times that it's okay for us to do some work. I've noticed that there aren't any graph lines here, which is going to make it a little bit difficult. But I happen to have a really good pen that will draw a pretty straight line for me. So that's kind of handy. So I'm going to go ahead and draw these straight lines here. Now you can do it without the straight lines. Sure, I don't mind. Just make sure that it's clear to understand and you're not like putting your dots down here, because obviously that's not 4 miles per hour. Definitely not. Definitely not. No, sir. No, ma'am. Okay, so we're just going to keep on trucking with these lines here. Okay, good, good. Right across. Sweet deal. All right. Not so bad. Not so bad at all. So I am doing for myself what others could not do for me, and that is providing graph lines on my graph. That's absolutely okie dokie. So this graph happens to need to go up to at least the number 8. I'm going to go ahead and throw that 9 and that 10 on there for free, just because they had it on BOGO over at Publix there. Okay, so here's the next part of this that is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to switch back to the back side, front side over here. I got 4 miles per 1 hour. So back side, front side on here, this is number 1. We've got 4 miles per 1 hour. If you recall, our y is what? Distance. That's right. Our x is what? Time. You are so smart. Thank you. Then, all I have to do is remember that slope, which is rise over run. Now, the crazy thing is, I was teaching this in class the other day, and I had kids talk the whole time, and they were like, "Oh man, we don't care." And then they got the test in front of them, they were like, "Oh man, we suddenly care." So I don't want you to be like them. I want you to do better than them. So we're going to start with the rise, okay? So we know that the top of this fraction is there. The bottom of this fraction is there, okay? This is all the bottom numbers. This is all those top numbers. All right? So I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, cool. I'm going to go over 1. Whoop, right there. Now let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit, because that might make your lives easier. And I can make your life a little easier. You know, I've really done my job there. All right, so I'm going to count up again. 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. And I'm going to go over 1. Okay, I didn't quite catch that. Can we go a little bit different? Sure. So I'm going to go one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1. I'm going to make my dot there. Why do we make that dot there? That's easy. Because this is hours. Okay? All of that is hours. This over here is miles. All of that is miles. All right? So I've got hours and I've got miles. Okay? I go up 4 miles over 1 hour. Up 4 miles over 1 hour. That's the way that we track the average speed. Then from there, I just take a super straight edge, like this here pen. Okay, this here pen, let's go ahead and make that line happen. I make my line up from the dots down to that 0. Yeah, it's pretty good. Passable. And from there, I'm able to see the intersection from my points down to my 0. And that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, is exactly how you do the whole silly quiz thing. This whole assessment can be done that way. You do not need a partner to do this. All right? You can do it on your own. You're very smart kids. And some of yous are really smart kids. Okay? We're going to go ahead and talk about this on Thursday and on Wednesday. And when we submit these, that's going to be the end of this. And you will only have to do retakes if you fail it. Sound good? Sounds good to me, you know. Okay, so this is Mr. Sawchuk signing off. I'll talk at you guys later. Have a great day. Hey, remember to submit this. Remember to submit each of those pictures that go along with it so that you're able to show your work. You don't show your work, you don't get any points. Just like if this kid right here decided to write down, oh, the average speed is going to be 23, and the distance is going to be 33, and the time is going to be 8:08. Okay? No points. That will not get you points for all the reasons. Especially that you didn't even pay attention to what the distance and the time were. Like, come on. It's easy stuff. Let's just pay attention and focus in and get our stuff done, all right? All right. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.